Sup guys, so I got a fun talking point today. We're going to be talking about the Smashmate ladder stats. So Smashmate is an online Smash ladder for Japanese Smash. And pretty much anyone practices there. Akala and Mir were like the #1 players there before they started going to offline events and farming people, right? A lot of good players won't even go to tournaments from what I've heard until they can get high rank in the Smashmate ladder because it's just not worth it. So it's a very serious grinding thing. I feel like almost every Japanese pro practices it, streams it, whatever, right? It's kind of what Smash Pros I think is trying to be long term.
What's up guys, did you like my YouTube content? If so, you should consider checking out the Patreon. I will be uploading content early for Patreon members only, so if you like me and want to support the channel, please consider it.
But yeah, so I want to just talk about the online meta and kind of how the Japanese players are viewing the game, or at least what the stats show about the game. Now granted, this is online play, right? So you're gonna see some things like the fact that it's Ultimate Online that changes the meta. But there's still a lot of cool things we can find from these statistics on win rates. So first thing I want to look at is the tier list, right? This is just the general, if you take the raw stats and compile them, what does a tier list look like for Ultimate based on matches? Now, some things are going to be obvious, like Joker's really bad online, wow. Same with Marcina, Pikachu, right? And then projectile characters tend to be really good online. So the top 3 for the aggregate tier list, and this is the past 10 seasons. I think each season is a month, if I had to guess. Maybe it's 2 months, I don't know. The point is, the aggregate of the last whatever time period is the best 3 characters are projectile zoners, right? Duck Hunt, Banjo, Mega Man. And then you see Ice Climbers up here. Huh. Diddy Kong, Steve, Game & Watch, Me Gunner, Rosalina, and Young Link comprise the top 10 characters on this ladder. And some of this is interesting, right? I think Duck Hunt's a really underrated character in general. I think he's actually very good. Just a very weird character. It's taking people a long time to learn and not very popular because he's weird and not overtly strong, right? Banjo, I'm actually very surprised this year. Granted, Banjo is an online monster, but I don't think he's even with online that great. Mega Man's a really good character that everyone knows is good, but no one really plays at the top level because he's not really specialized. He's a very all-rounder character, and most people like more polarizing characters nowadays for polarizing matchup spreads, especially if you duo main or have a strong secondary. Japanese Ices, I always see them clipping people and do 0 deaths, and this character is one of those if you can get them, the 0 deaths are crazy, the setups for ledge shopping are crazy. They're just a crazy task character, I should say. Diddy, no surprise, he's a very good character. Granted, maybe you wouldn't think he's that great online, but he's such a strong character in general. Steve, Game & Watch, yeah, this is no surprise. Honestly, I'm more surprised these characters aren't top 2, but sometimes you get this thing where everyone knows a character's really good, but because everyone's playing the character, their win rates are lowered a little bit. I think Steve is the most played character on this ladder, so the bad Steves are gonna kind of drag down the good Steve results. Same with Game Watch, he's very highly played, so yada yada. Me Gunner, yeah, that's not my character. I don't think Me Gunner's weird. The character has very polarizing matchups, but I think a lot of the characters that would do well versus Me Gunner are more aggressive characters get in your face, which don't really prevail well online in general. Rosa's a shock here. Obviously Rosa biased, but the only thing I can say about her online is that she does have big hitboxes, and she's already pretty hard to hit due to her floatiness and good air drift and stuff. So that might be kind of accelerated online. I think it also helps that she's such a rare character, and generally speaking, inversely, when you have a character that's uncommon, people don't know the matchup as well, and character specialists tend to be players that learn the characters more and kind of push the results. So if she's a very underplayed character, she's actually going to perform better than if she was played more. And then I guess projectile-esque character. Yes, you see and this also, a lot of these projectile characters being really good is kind of not surprising if you think about the Japanese meta as a whole, right? Japan has tended to be really good with more defensive characters, projectile heavy characters. They're not very high risk takers, not pressure players. They want to slow the game down, control it, and play super safe, right? So projectile based characters really exemplify that kind of play. Get some weird thing. I want to see this kind of data for offline tournaments for top 64 or something. But then again, there are some characters you don't even see in top 64 because no one's really playing them, like me, Sorty, for example, right? Yeah, so you got this, you got Snake, Rob, and I feel like you got mostly like characters you'd expect here. Maybe like Kirby's a surprise, Minute's a surprise. I actually think the B tier looks, especially considering it's online, like heavyweights get buffed. This is honestly what I'd expect for the most part. You get like Fox and C tier online, yeah, Aegis online, C tiers. I can kind of see it. Wolf is pretty bad online. Cloud being here is weird. I think it might be because of the prevalence of like lots of Robs and Snakes, Min-Mins, Samuses, and those characters are pretty good for Cloud, so especially online where they're more like powerful. Might be rough, but still surprised to see him down here. Same with like Bowser down here, right? Like things like Wario, yeah, makes sense. Zero Suit makes sense. And then, bro, it's so weird seeing a tier list with like Mario on the bottom. Sora, such a high execution combo character. That makes sense. He's down here actually. This isn't like an aggregate of like a lot of seasons. This is just the most recent season. And you see a lot of the same characters. You actually don't see Steve in the top 10 or Game & Watch. Oh, okay, I found him. Oh, right over here, right. So he's like 20th online in the most recent season. Yeah. Sora. It's actually interesting. I'm guessing these seasons aren't that long. Because there's a lot of variation between like this and the aggregate. And I could go through like, you know, all the different seasons, like the trends of like characters going up and down. The one trend that stays consistent though is Duck Hunt's like almost always at the top. Like Duck Hunt, Banjo, and Mega Man are just at the top consistently. And Rose is generally up there. Olimar is here for a season. Isabelle is here. Crazy, right? Yeah, it's cool. It's just to see the meta. And, you know, it's a good example of, like, also why I think American tier lists look so different than Japanese tier lists, right? We just have very different metas. Like, you know, maybe if we had an online, like, ladder that was more active. I know Smash Bros. Is trying to be that. We would have something similar, but honestly, I think it's unlikely, right? And it's really cool, like, 5 years into the game, that there's so much variance in what we view as strong and weak. And, like, you know, there's a lot of things that are consistent. I think more things are pretty consistent among both regions than not. But the things that stand out really stand out. So, yeah. I just thought this was cool. I want to talk about it. Hope you guys thought this is a pretty interesting video. If you like this stuff, let me know in the comments. And I'll, like, make more of these videos. Until then, peace.